In today's video, we are going to cover 3 things that are going to make you better at NHL 22. So for the first thing we're going to go over, it's going to be poke checks. For the second thing, I want to talk about line changes, how to do them, when to do them, and how I find them most effective. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is defense. I have just a random game selected here. But what I typically like to do is the poke check is R1 for me, okay? Whatever poke check button you're using. For myself, it's R1, that's the default settings. Now, for the poke check, I'm just gonna keep giving them the puck here so I can show you. If you play the game a lot, you probably know this, but here's how the poke check works. R1, you just keep poke checking, right? You keep going, keep poking constantly. But if you go R1, hold, and use the right stick, you can pick the direction and where you want that poke check to go, which direction, right? So R1, left. I'm still holding R1, I'm gonna dip the puck back out here. Still holding R1, you go from left to right, up, down, back behind you, and you can't spin around, but you can almost spin around. So how I typically like to use the poke check is, especially in the defensive zone, I like to hold it out, okay? The only downside to that is when that puck comes near you, if it doesn't hit your stick, it is gonna go right through you. The puck's essentially gonna go right through your stick. So if you don't hold the poke check, you can intercept passes a lot easier, but then you're not using the poke check. But if you hold the poke check and you hold your stick out, you have the opportunity like that to hit the puck from him. But if the puck's coming to you, your player will not be able to pick it up because you've chosen that action. Unless you're trying to intercept the pass, in which case all you would do is let go of R1. I'm gonna give the puck to him. You would just let go of R1 and you'll pretty much intercept any pass that's coming to you. R1, I'm holding it right now. And I'm looking for places. I'm looking for the puck in any situation. And I'm forcing him in whatever direction I want, right? Just for the message I'm trying to get across of the poke check, the second you hit R1, if you're in that defensive zone, if you're trying to hold down an area, especially if you're in odd man rush, you can use that poke check super effectively. But the second you want to intercept that pass, you let go of R1. And you're gonna notice your player's gonna intercept the pass. But if you're holding R1 and you're just trying to intercept it through poke check motion, it's not gonna work. Hit R1, hold R1, pick whatever you wanna go. Puck's coming near you, let go, and you'll pretty much intercept any pass. So tip number 1, the poke check. Number 2, I always love to do manual line changes. I just find you get to control who you have on the ice at all times. And if you know your team, if you relatively know the lines, you should kind of be going through your lines if you're playing online versus if you're playing hut. If you're playing hut, you definitely know your lines. But what you're going to want to do is always scrub through your lines, see which energy is what, and then you have a good idea. Like I know right now this second line that's on the ice, they have a lot of energy. I got a good couple minutes with them, right? So I can make some plays and I don't have to think about it too much. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the puck over. They're coming up ice. I'm going to look, you know what, I'm going to get my top line on because they have a similar amount of energy. But then when I come back up the ice, I'm going to have my top line, my top dogs on the ice. And defensive wise as well. You don't want to ever make line changes when you're in that defensive zone, of course, especially against players who know what they're doing. But if I'm heading up ice with my defense, so I'm going to get the puck here. I'll be able to show you a little bit better. So I'm going to head up the ice with Matthews. I'm going to get my defense off the ice. I'm going to put my second line defense because they're fresh, right? I don't really need them in that offensive rush. They can go for a quick change. And then when we come back for the defensive rush, they're going to be on the ice and my fresh guys are going to be on the ice. So line changes, do them manually. Circle is for your offense. Square is for your defense. And just it takes some practice, but just keep trying, keep practicing. And you'll notice if you can get those fastest guys, those fresh legs on the ice at the perfect opportunity, just constantly be switching your lines, keep the fresh guys on the ice. You're going to have the speed advantage. And this goes especially for when you're playing people online, because most people don't change their lines manually. They leave it automatic, and oftentimes I'll find their top players are on the ice for like minutes on end. So for the line changes, when you're going up ice, get your defense off. When there's a rush coming like right now, not an overly threatening rush, I'm going to get my offense off the ice and get some fresh guys on that way. So make sure you learn how to adjust your lines on the fly, and it's going to make your players fresh, and you're going to be a lot more effective, especially in the offense when you're trying to get goals. Okay, so now we're going to talk the third tip, and that is defense. So for defense, I'm going to just play defense here. I'm going to pull all my guys backwards here. What I find in this game especially, I'm just going to pause it for a second. What I find in this game is hitting is always important. And if you're a good hitter and you can really time and you really guess where the guy's going and you can make effective hits, this probably doesn't apply to you in any way. But if you find that you're having trouble hitting, I'll be honest, for whatever reason, I've been playing this game for a long time. I have trouble finding accuracy on my hits. So what I do to fix that is I don't hit.
Wise guy, huh?
So I'll find myself killing guys and they'll be out hitting me by like 3 times, but it doesn't really matter. Like, of course a hit feels good, but when you're playing online against other people, you want to take the least amount of risks as possible. And what you have to understand is a lot of hits are risky. So if you're going for that hip check, if you're going for a hit in the corner, other than that, I really don't use hits at all. So even in the defensive zone, unless there's I'm going to give them the puck here, in situations like this, I'm not even thinking of hitting. I mean, and they score. Of course, when I say that. When they have the puck, I'm giving myself good positioning. So when they pass the puck, when they shoot the puck, my first line of defense is blocking something, getting my man in traffic, or intercepting a pass. Those are always my first lines of defense, and I find a lot of success with them. There's really only a few situations of guys that just are so top notch that there's just, they know the movements, they can predict everything. They've seen so much because they play so much. But for the average player that you're going to play against, just positioning. You're going to frustrate them offensively. And then when it comes to defense, what are they going to try to do? When it comes to defense and they're frustrated, they're not going to do the same thing. They're not going to do like a zone defense. And this is kind of what I'm referring to as zone defense. They're going to come at you. They're going to be aggressive. And when someone is not super good and they become an aggressive player on the defense, you're going to find a lot more openings and it's going to allow you to get a lot more goals. I promise you. So for poke checks, again, we're going to go over how to use them. R1, and you're going to use the right stick to pick a direction. Your guy's going to move his stick. You can just go into practice mode and practice as well. You're going to move your stick in whichever direction. If a puck's coming near you, let go of that R1. Don't take the chance of your stick hitting the puck, because honestly, it's not often that is able to actually happen. Let go of R1, your guy will intercept the pass most times, guarantee you. Number 2, line changes. When you're going up ice for offense, take a look at your defense, see if you need a line change. When you're coming back on defense, if it's not like a crazy rush and they're just bringing the puck up casually, which is most cases, take a look at your offense, see who needs on the ice, see who needs off the ice, and make those adjustments. And then last but not least, defense. Do you need to hit? You need to ask yourself that. If you're trying to play and you're actually trying to play to win, you're playing people that you know, and you're losing to guys that you know you should be beating, you need to ask yourself, how am I playing defense? Am I playing kind of a zone style? Am I making kind of that triangle right in the center between the hash marks and in front of the goalie? Am I clogging the lanes? It just sounds like real hockey when you're listening to like broadcasts and stuff. But also ask yourself, when you're going for those hits, you're missing those hits, they're able to evade those hits. Are those plays and are those hits that you need to make? Or could you have maybe just waited a few seconds and he's just going to turn the puck over anyway? Just something to try, something to think about. Those are 3 things I find extremely effective in my strategy to win online. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I have a few more videos I am thinking about and planning that are going to make you better at NHL 22. So if it's something that you're interested in, be sure to like this video. And if you are interested in those videos in the future, be sure to subscribe so you can see what's going on. And I'll be posting about 2 to 3 videos every single week. I am interested in making these because I just find when I'm playing online, so many people aren't actually thinking about what they're doing. It's just up ice and down ice, up ice and down ice. It's the same thing all the time. So just think about it a little bit more, and I can guarantee you it's going to transform the way that you play NHL 22. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Take care.